Hi everyone, welcome back. Sean here, your English tutor with Englishalready.com. I'm back with another English lesson to help you continue to progress in your English language communication skills. In today's lesson, I want to share with you a very important grammatical skill that will help you sound more professional, especially in your email writing or any presentations that you may be making, or a little bit more formal communication. That grammatical format is called passive voice. Passive voice. If you've studied English, no doubt you have heard of passive voice before. But if you're not clear, passive voice essentially means that we are giving more focus to the one receiving the action in the sentence, the fact that the subject is receiving the action, but not doing anything. When the performer of the action is not important and we want to give more focus on what's being done. That's essentially what passive voice is used for. Now, it is used a little bit less than active voice, and active voice is what it's often compared to. But we'll get into that in just a moment. So how do we use passive voice? How do we form it when we're speaking? Well, if you look here, we use the verb be always in passive voice. We use the verb be and also the past participle of the verb that we're working with. Okay, do you see this? And we also have to conjugate the verb to be according to the tense that we're expressing ourselves in. For example, if we're speaking in the simple past tense, we conjugate the verb be using was or were according to the subject we're referring to. It's just that simple. But of course, it will be very helpful if we see some examples. As I mentioned earlier, active voice and passive voice are often compared because active voice is that tense that we use on a daily basis when we want to emphasize who did the action. Let's see them side by side. Here's an example starting with active voice. So have a look. The company paid us last Friday. That's what the company did. So this is active voice. So how would it look in passive voice? We were paid last Friday. We received something. We see the verb to be, and we see the past participle of the verb used only in the passive voice side. Let's look at another example. Active voice, John reviewed the documents this morning. That's what John did. He reviewed them. Active voice. Passive voice, the documents were reviewed this morning. If I want to include John, I only have to add what we call the by phrase, and I would say the documents were reviewed by John this morning. But in this case, the focus is that the documents receive the action of being reviewed. Let's continue. Here's another. You can pause the video and review this at any time just to make sure you have it clear because, as I mentioned earlier, passive voice is really important for professionals when speaking in English. We haven't trained the staff on the new procedures yet. We haven't done something in this case. So this is active voice. So passive voice. The staff hasn't been trained on the new procedures yet. The staff hasn't been trained. They haven't received the action of being trained. You see? Passive voice is so important. Try your very best to use it as often as you can, but first make sure you understand it clearly. Here are a few additional examples. The GM will probably delay the meeting. What do you think this one is? Active voice or passive voice? Well, we said that the GM, the general manager, will probably do something. So if the subject is doing the action, then we know that that is active voice. So how would it be in passive voice? Please pause the video and try to get this sentence in passive voice according to what you've learned until now. Give it a try. So let's continue. The meeting will probably be delayed by the GM. We can include in this case by the GM. If we don't want to, we don't have to, but in some cases it's good. Here's another. We sent the documents to the wrong recipient. Oh no, what a problem. We sent the documents to the wrong recipient. Pause again, try the activity or exercise once again to see if you can figure out how you would say this in the passive voice. Okay, here's what it is in passive. The documents were sent to the wrong recipient. Here's one final example. James hasn't sent the email due to technical difficulties. Passive voice. The email hasn't been sent due to technical difficulties. Passive voice. There are a host of reasons why we may choose passive voice over active voice, but passive voice really does have an important use, especially in business. So why not get to know it much better so you can start including this in the way you communicate in English. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If so, please give me a thumbs up and please share my video with others so they can learn as well. Have a great day, and until the next time, I'm Sean, your English tutor.